Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Ryan and this is session 3 of the Personal Branding Blueprint. Today's topic, your offline brand. Hopefully you've had a chance to review and make some changes to your online brand, and we'll get back to that in a later session, specifically when we get to lesson 6 where we talk about how to leverage your brand. So just like your online brand, your offline brand also has certain characteristics. Those characteristics include things like image, communication, and relevance. And we're going to spend most of today's session talking about relevance. And specifically, what I mean by that is relevance to the career you've chosen, relevance to the employer that you're looking to be employed by, and relevance to any recruiters who might be looking for you. Specifically, when we say relevance, we're talking about the skills and attributes or traits that you display or demonstrate in your day-to-day life, in your offline brand, if you will. Many of us take for granted skills. Skills are things that we've learned all throughout our careers that have built up one on top of the other. But do we really know what a skill is? So if we look up skill in the dictionary, what we find is that a skill is the ability to do something well. It's something you have an expertise in. It's also something that you have learned. So in short, a skill is what we do. An example of some skills are, say, sales, planning, coaching, managing people. All of these skills are things that we have learned or picked up along the way throughout our career. Now, attributes or traits are slightly different. They're not learned. If you look up an attribute, what you'll find is the following definition. An attribute is a quality or feature regarded as a characteristic or an inherent part of someone or something. Said another way, attributes or traits is really how we do something. So while we learn skills, our attributes are how we execute those skills. Let me give you some examples of what an attribute or a trait is. A trait is being reliable, prompt, creative, helpful, and maybe even loud. All of these are examples of how we do things. So take just a minute. Think about some traits or some skills that you've gained in your career. So your homework for this week is going to be simple, but it's not going to be easy. To help facilitate the homework this week, I've included a downloadable worksheet below. You're going to use the worksheets to capture all of your ideas and insights. Now there's 2 parts to this week's assignment. The first part is going to be you assessing yourself for your skills and your attributes. I've included a list of each in the worksheet below. If you don't find some of the skills or attributes that you think you demonstrate, feel free to go look up skills and or attributes on the internet. What you'll find is that there's going to be lots and lots of different ones. But what I want you to do is use the worksheets to narrow down your list of skills and attributes to the top 5 that you believe are yours. Part 2 of the assignment is going to be a little bit more difficult, and it might make you uncomfortable. But getting out of your comfort zone is key to getting the most out of the Personal Branding Blueprint. We talked in an earlier lesson about how personal branding is all about discovering you. We also discussed how it can be very difficult for us to look at ourselves and determine what our skills and our attributes are. So for the second part of this week's assignment, we're actually going to reach out to others and ask them what they feel our skills and our attributes are. We're going to refer to those people as our trusted advisors. What I want you to do is make a list of 10 to 15 people whose opinion matters to you. These are people that you trust. These are people that said, hey Ryan, if you're doing this thing and you should be doing this thing, that really matters to you, and you're going to give it some very strong consideration to go from this thing to this thing. So these are people you trust, people you admire, people you look up to. Pick 10 to 15 of them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send them an email. And we're going to ask them to tell us what they feel are our top skills and our top traits. I've included a template for the email that you can send in the worksheets below. The thing about this template is this is the actual template that I used when I sent out my 15 emails to my trusted advisors. And in case you're curious, I received 10 emails back from the 15 people that I sent an email to requesting their assistance. Now, some advice on sending out the email. First, don't expect immediate return. It's going to take them some time. Remember, we all get lots and lots of emails. Second, if you don't get your response back from your trusted advisor within 3 days, go ahead and send them a reminder email. But by the end of a week, you should have received the majority of your emails back from your trusted advisor. And if you're thinking to yourself, man, nobody's going to want to give me feedback, I think you're going to be very surprised. People will love to give you feedback on you, especially if you pick the right folks. So when you get that information back, we're going to compile all of that information as well into the worksheets down below. And then when we get into session 4, we're going to talk about how to begin to use the information and the insight and the feedback that you receive to begin to define your brand. So until then, get your emails sent out, and we'll see you in session 4.